Hey, it's Nancy from NCHomes at Keller Williams and J Metro Group. I know that I spend a lot of time talking about the benefits of home ownership, building equity, generational wealth building, yada, yada, yada. I see your eyes glazing over, and I can see that through the screen, okay? Listen, I just spent a week in Austin at Mega Camp learning about the latest in technological, human, and conceptual innovations in this business of real estate. And it kind of put me of a mind. I am a Southern gal after all, and so sometimes it comes out of my phraseology. I am of a mind, but I am of a mind. I've spent a lot of time recently reviewing what we think the core values are of NCHomes. And Raf and I often circle back to our MVVBP: mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. So you're looking at it now. This is it. But I kind of wanted to flesh out for you one piece of it, one of the main tenets of our beliefs as an organization. And here it is. I'm going to read it for you. The right home purchase stabilizes families who in turn strengthen their communities. Listen, I know that sounds like a couple of pretty sentences, but let me give you my true thoughts on this. I'm going to flesh this out for you. The dream of homeownership is a pervasive desire. I know because I'm an immigrant to this country. Now that means I was not born here. But America has offered me and my parents and my family a chance at some amazing things. Higher education, professional careers, entrepreneurial opportunities that have no growth limitations. Owning a home has always been a huge part of that ethos, right? This idea that the middle class dream of this inevitable result of a Ford in every driveway and a chicken in every pot, for those of you that know what that quote is. It's a kind of national thinking. And why is owning a home so important in this scenario? Well, because home ownership offers a natural form of stability. It roots a family to ground on which a home is built for shelter, and a garden can be planted for sustenance, and a community of neighbors provided for friendship, camaraderie, and even love. And it roots you to a town in which your family will recreate and your children will be educated. When you buy a home, you also freeze the cost of shelter for the foreseeable future. So for instance, if you were to use like a 15-year conventional mortgage to purchase your home, right? Your monthly shelter cost becomes a relatively fixed amount. That's going to be your monthly payment, which stays the same for 15 years. Now, you also have to understand that in that same 15 years, if you choose to rent, you cannot control that cost. Should a landlord choose to raise your rent every year, it could become unaffordable. Should a landlord choose to sell, like the multifamily home that you're currently living in, that new owner could come in and ask you to leave if they want to move into that unit themselves. And worst of all, should a landlord lose the home that you're in through foreclosure, you could be left homeless, and you can even have the marshals come knocking on your door without any notice asking you to get out. So in 15 years, as your earning potential grows and increases, your baseline cost for shelter will remain the same if you have a 15-year payment from a mortgage, as opposed to rising rent costs that go with the cost of living that always eat up your salary gains. So at the end of this 15 years, the family that rented is left with no physical commodity, all right? While the family that has bought, they have a product, a residence, a piece of property that they can sell. And if the value of the property has grown, then they've gained equity. They could use that equity to pay for their next home, or they could pay for college, or they can, have a vacation around the world if they choose instead. Or they can decide not to sell the home and retain it as an investment rental property to further grow their financial well-being as a family. And in the end, this could even be an investment that you leave to children who survive you, and you thereby give them an early advantage in the growth of their financial well-being as they start the life cycle process by beginning their own family as well. This is how the right home purchase can help stabilize a family. Okay, but then how does this help stabilize a community? Well, because this family, who now has roots in this town, they start a business that helps this town to grow. They maintain and improve upon their home and their land, which often encourages other homeowners around them to also renovate and repair their home and their lot. And then they end up using goods and services provided by their neighbors in this community, which in turn grows their neighbors' financial well-being, which strengthens the community as a whole. They volunteer at a grassroots level to help improve the lives and circumstances of their local peers. They run for public office to fight for the community's needs and to help improve access to resources for their town. They volunteer at the schools. They volunteer at the shelter. They bring something to the table that help make this town better. So when people own the homes that they live in, they tend to stay longer, meaning less churn, less turnover, and communities with longer home ownership tenure tend to reflect a more stable area. Research has found that long-term successful homeownership is associated with better physical and psychological health. But this, I have resources for this, and a greater sense of control over their environment, which can lead to an overall sense of satisfaction, or dare I say, maybe even happiness. Okay, I know that was pretty long-winded, but I hope that it gets across to you why it is so important to us. Why it's so important to us to help families buy the right home that helps set them up for stability within the community and also helps improve their general well-being and financial health. Okay. All right. Listen, I hope that as we go, I'm going to touch upon this MVVBP a little more and flesh out other parts of it. And in the meantime, have a look here. We are planning. It is time. It is. I know it's the end of August, but we are starting to get ready for the coat drive, our annual coat drive. So we are going to be doing the pancake breakfast and coat drive again. Here, have a look at the details. We are hoping we can get you to come and bring your coats, and we'll serve you some flapjacks. All right. Thank you so much for listening. If you watch our videos, please like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate it, and I'll talk to you next week.